Good man, Ron. Old school techno. I'm not even sure how long this tune is. So I think I'll pause it there because I'm not totally sure how long that tune is supposed to be, right? I have no idea. And StreamYard, in all their with all their fancy gadgetry and stuff, gives you no indication as to how long a tune actually is supposed to go on. And I've found over the years, Jim, are you here? You're not here that fucking long. Anyway, I found over my time here that it gives you no indication of how long a tune is supposed to be, and sometimes they just loop and loop and loop and loop. I've been caught out with this shit before. So, but anyway, that was a tune by our one and only Ron Malcolm from here in the chat. Like, fair play to you, Ron. That is really. I grew up on that fucking music, man. That's old school techno, lad. That's old school techno, like. But the chilled out version, like, the stuff that I play and stuff like that is generally a little bit more racy, right? But it is what it is, like, But I did grow up on that sort of fucking music, man. So thanks, Ron, to have that little bit of a tune in our back office here, just to play, like, it's always great, like when our members actually post stuff. Like, we've got great people here online. The thumbnail tonight was brilliant from Bebe, by the by the way. I'll show that in a little while. Just give me. I'll have to catch up on that. Like, Bebe did show great fucking thumbnail. Brilliant, man. He's doing great work there behind the scenes, man. And but thanks for that tune, Ron. And I just have to try figure out how to download it and save it for prosperity, just in case the StreamYard account ever gets lost, or we don't know what the fuck is going to happen with this fucking channel, really. We have no idea what's going to happen with the channel or with StreamYard or anything like that. So we'll just have to play it by ear for the moment, like. And it's not like I'm not going to be. I just haven't done fuck all. I haven't done fuck all with sort of like starting a new channel or nothing like that yet. Like, we'll just try to work with the algorithm for now. We'll get a new channel going, and when we get the new channel going, what we'll do is we'll run it in tandem with the old channel and just give as many people as possible enough time to catch up with the new channel and stuff like that. Like, and then eventually down the road we may depart from. But no, in fact, like, well, at the end of the day, I don't want to run the risk of losing all Jason's stuff. So, I have to keep this in mind. This is everything of Jason is here on this channel. So if it ever comes to the stage where we're going to run the risk of losing the channel, I'm going to be making all efforts to fucking move us as quickly as fucking possible. I don't want to lose Jason's stuff at all costs, So, and still, we've got to try to preserve the community and keep us together. People who want to stay. There's a good reason why we're together here. I'm starting to see that there's more a need for this channel, more and fucking more. And so what I'll do is I'll take a little moment now just to briefly say hello to everybody. Mascara, how you doing, Mascara? Mahatma, how you doing, brother? I hope you got my email, Mahat. Did you check your email? I didn't get a response from you, so I'm not sure whether you got my email or not. I sent it to the only address that I had for you, so I'm hoping that you got my email. And so I checked in several times today just to make sure that I didn't miss a response from you. So I haven't seen a response, so I don't know whether you got that email. You need to let me know, mate. And if you didn't get it, I will try to figure out some way of getting my message to you. Check your spam folder as well. Check your spam folder as well, just in case. How you doing, Jerry, from from the north side of Afghana Dublin? That's all I'll say. Afghanis Dublin, which is now my new moniker, and Spanish is in the house. Yeah, Spanish. It was a nice tune, wasn't it? That's from our very own Ron, mate. And you done a great job. I love that. I love those little tickety ticks and all that. I love that, like in dance music, man. But not dance music is not everybody's scene. It's not everybody's scene at all. But I'll tell you what, it is my scene. I grew up on that shit. Like, how you doing, Robert? Let's see, we just catch up. I'm not going to get too involved in any of the opening salvos of conversation between everybody. Dinny is in the house. How you doing, my good old buddy, Dinny? My mother from another brother, who is now in enemy territory out in Deutschland, Nazi Central. So I hope you're doing all right, and I hope you got your application form to sign up for the SS when it reinstates itself out there in our good old Deutschland, which I would not rule out just yet. Mia Media Mogul, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. It's okay, Mahatma. Don't worry about responding in a hurry. There's no need to. No, you. I was just. I didn't know whether you got it or not, and that's. You don't have to respond. Just no need to respond. Um, that's that don't feel like you have to. It's like, but I was just concerned that you didn't get it because sometimes you just wonder. Sometimes you just wonder whether, you send something and you don't hear, because like you hear of all these horror stories where stuff gets sent to people's spam folders and God knows where else. Like, and you just don't know. And one of that good gentleman that I mentioned in that email, he used to get his emails blocked. So the way my paranoid head works is like, good God, I mentioned that guy's name. I just wonder, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know sometimes. So, but yeah, don't feel under it. I conveyed to you like what I had to convey, and don't feel it. I'm just glad I know now that you got it. That's the most important thing. So there's no obligation, bro. Yo, Jimmy, you Jew. Fuck off, Denny. Oh yeah, I haven't taken sides in that. I haven't taken sides. I haven't taken sides in that. Are you serious, Mahad? It went straight to the junk. Holy shit, man. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. It's like that happens quite a lot. There's one individual that I'm actually subscribed to on the interzones. A chap called Jacob Drazen, and even though I've added his email to my contact list, all his stuff goes straight to my spam folder. Even though I have him on my contact list, it's like, what the fuck, you know? And he's a totally he's and Spanish will love this. Spanish will love this because he is 100% like a pro Russian. He's pro Putin. He's all that stuff. Like I follow his blogs and stuff like that because it's quite interesting. I don't always agree with him and stuff like that. Like but I do find it refreshing in a way. Like but um, it's like, but still, even though he's on my contact list, he still goes straight to my spam folder, which I don't fucking get. Which is weird, man. It's fucking weird. Like, you can't, you know, email is not a reliable form of contact. It seems to me sometimes, so unless you're like a conspiracy nut like my fucking self, you might end up like, unless you go check your fucking spam folder, sometimes you might miss essential important information. And I do have an unusual address, which um, does come from an encrypted server, so all traffic that comes out of my email account is actually encrypted on route. Now the email messages themselves aren't encrypted, like, but the sending of the messages is encrypted, like, which does cause problems, which means sometimes I can't use my email account to send to legitimate government services or stuff like that because they reject encrypted communications. So there's a lot of weird shit goes on, like, with the internet. It's just not reliable. Like, like at the end of the day, the way I see it is like paper is the most reliable form of communication. But then again, like even paper, like, you don't know who the fuck, how many hands it passes through on the way. Like, I do get, like, over the years, man, and I've gotten very fucking paranoid even about the post, because so many mails arrive to me which have clearly either the glue didn't work when the secretary was fucking pasting the envelope closed, or some arsehole has opened it up on the way, like, and just pasted it back with tape, man. It's just like, holy shit, man. It's a fuck's sake. Holy shit. It's like, how many cunts have read this fucking man? What the fuck? Who the fuck cares where, and it's not like it's ultra fucking private or anything like that. It was like, why would anybody be opening this fucking mail and then have to fucking paste it back with sellotape? It's like, come on, give me a fucking break, man. So I don't trust anything anymore. It's like, so thank fuck Chris ain't here, says Rob. I didn't even notice, man. Didn't even notice, man. Is he not here, the bastard? You know, he wouldn't come on a fucking Saturday night to hear me, man. For fuck's sake. Yeah, Spanish. Yeah, it does feel like you're in a prison sometimes. I don't mind being in a prison. I know it's a prison. I absolutely know it's a fucking prison, but it's not the kind of prison that you might think I think it is. It's like we're in a spiritual fucking prison here, right? Spiritual prison. We're not supposed to be here. Not supposed to be here at all. I've had an interesting week, like with listening to a few new podcasters. I was listening to a few new podcasters during the week, like ranging from Zionist podcasters to the one that I want to talk about actually. Seven Spalding. Seven Spalding. He's a Planet Xer, but interesting character though. Very very interesting character. I've been tuned into him now during the week, and I've been following him for years, but the Planet X stuff is kind of like it's always on my periphery because I always expected to see another object after Hale Bop, so I'm not convinced that that object won't appear at some fucking stage. So I do kind of keep the Planet X stuff on my periphery. Matt is saying he ordered some CBD off Jason's co-host, but the fuckers poured it all away, so I ordered another in a different name and got it. Off Jason's co-host. Who's Jason's co-host? CBD. Don't know what's going on there, Mahat. That's weird. So they poured it all away anyway before arrival. Yeah, I have no doubt all this shit is going on because it's just one of those fucking things. But as I was saying about Seven Spalding, I've had a very very interesting week or two following his podcasts. And this guy he's unreal. He's there. He's having a full blown conversation with God midstream, right? Okay, Mahat. It's gone back a while. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure who that might have been now, and it's not important anyway. So, from Andy. Oh, that's what Denny's saying. I don't know whether that's true or not. But anyway, Seven Spalding. He's there. He's on live stream, and he's having a full blown conversation with God midstream, constantly. He's there. He's looking over his shoulder like this, and he's getting messages, and you can see him his mind is turning. It's I'm seeing a lot of this lately. A lot of people are just having these weird conversations with God midstream. It's not just him. It's it's a lot. It's a lot of podcasters which they're getting into this fucking zone where they're in touch with God. But I was watching him. I was actually watching him and says, and that's not too hard for me to believe because what you're doing is the same that fucking happens to me, right? Very fucking same thing, okay? I could be having a full blown conversation with myself a lot of the fucking time, because fuck it, there's nobody else to fucking talk to. Loads and loads of times I catch myself, right? I'm having a full blown conversation with myself, but it's not myself. It's my higher fucking self. It's like I'm having a conversation with an entity which is outside myself, but I don't look over my shoulder like this. It's like I don't hear a voice. It's in here, man. It's actually an internal dialogue, internal, and I don't feel weird about it or anything like that because I know this is a common state for a lot of fucking people. I don't know whether everybody has this internal dialogue, but I'm pretty sure a lot of fucking people do. And the way I see it is that could be sort of related to when I'm looking at Seven there during the week, somebody who seems to be having a conversation with God, and you'll hear a voice and he'll look around and it's I can relate to that, man. I can absolutely 100% relate to that, because it happens to me all the fucking time. If people were to listen to me walk on the street, they'd probably think I was fucking mad, but I am actually having an interesting dialogue, like with an entity of some sorts, and it's keeping me in check, like, because I'm constantly reevaluating, like, what the fuck I'm thinking about, whatever situation is going on at the fucking time. And this little fucking goddamn fucking voice sometimes chastises me for fucking even thinking something so absurd as what I might be fucking thinking. And it's like, holy shit, man, that fucking voice is fucking goddamn right. So I don't feel bad about it. It does keep me in check, like, but for anybody looking on, it must fucking comical, right? But here I am here fucking talking fucking. I'm here talking to myself, even though I'm with everybody here. Like, but I am talking to myself. But sometimes that voice does kick in, like, So even though I seem to be talking to myself here on the fucking chat, sometimes I might be talking to the other entity, even though I'm not looking over my shoulder. Like, the internal voice is still there. Like, but I'm convinced it's not God, like, but it's higher me. It's the higher self, like, reconnect them back to source, like, which maybe in a Christian, like, I see that talking to God, like, but it's also talking to the higher self, so just one of those fucking weird things, like. So I can't remember what his name was, like, from I read CBD and the and and the item that got emptied out of the bottle, like, or maybe some cunt was just playing with you and didn't fulfill the order proper. Um, but that would be what would be the point of that? Like, what would be the point of that? Oh yeah, so it is an Andy. It is an Andy, right? Okay, right. Well, Spanish. I don't know whether you could. Would it be fair to say that the post office done it? I don't know. I don't know. There'd be no paper trail. How could you prove who done fucking what? You know, maybe maybe some sick fuck at source decided, okay, we'll just send this cunt a fucking empty bottle. You don't know. You don't know. And this is the fucking sad state of affairs. Like, at the end of the day, I'm dealing with a bunch of cunts over in fucking Czechoslovakia who got my fucking order wrong at the moment, and getting a fucking solution for it is fucking problematic, really fucking problematic. But Dinny may be correct. Customs and excise. There you go. That would be a likely source of the fucking problem, man. Um, I remember years ago. And I remember years ago. I got an order of MMS, right, off the internet. I was just trying it out just to see what it was. What awful fucking shit, man. But I'm not saying it's bad or good or anything like. But got raided by the cops one day, right? Got raided, and they took the bags of God, what's there's a certain compound that you have to use to sort of like activate you have to activate it, like, with oh God, what's it called? It's like little white crystals. And it's not ascorbic acid, but it's oh shit, man, I can't fucking remember what it's called. Some type of acid anyway. You got to fucking activate it with. They took it anyway because they thought it was fucking cocaine or something like that. Anyway, so I said, "What's this?" It's like, so look, there's always some fucking cunt after your stash, right? Always some bastard after your fucking stash, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like that, they'll take it, whether they'll spill it out at source, or whether they'll raid you afterwards and fucking take your stuff that they accusing you that's fucking drugs, and it's not fucking drugs. It's a goddamn fucking activator. I'm gonna fucking search this out now because it's fucking annoying me. Like, what's that compound that you activate? Um, PO compound activate. Let's see, activate MMS. I don't know. I'll just see what it throws up at me. Chlorine dioxide and. But that's not what I'm looking for. It's not giving me anything fucking. I'm gonna have to look into it. Like I'm gonna have to look into it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. The little compound. It looks like fucking salt crystals or sugar crystals, and you have to fucking dissolve it and stuff like that, and it activates the chlorine dioxide and stuff like that. And anyway, the cops took that thinking that they hit the fucking pay. They thought they were going to get fucking promoted. I bet they got a kick up the hole when they found out what it fucking was. Jerry is saying they must have thought it was part of the B. Gilroy crew, Jimmy, in regards to MMS. Context. Oh, I love it. That joke's never going to go away now. I might as well just fucking instead of having fucking instead of having selfie, I'm going to have just context on my fucking. I need to have context written on it. Holy shit, man! That's a can of worms. I'm going to be sorry I opened up. I think. Matt was saying years ago I had SCO-19 threatening me outside my house with guns when I was on my way to band rehearsal. The band player's missus was 8.5 months pregnant and she was kicking off to fuck. What's SCO-19, Mahatma? Just out of SCO-19. What might that be? It doesn't. Kind of like the previous, like a previous version of COVID-19. I wonder. CO-19. They're armed police. Okay, right. Armed police. It's like, holy shit, man. You're on your way to band practice and you get fucking raided by the band police. Gee, you must be up to some shit, Mahatma. I know it. I fucking know it. I always fucking knew it, man. You're a wrong one. A wrong one. Hey, you Black Dahlia. James, how you doing, buddy? Did I miss anybody? Just did I miss anyone? Just I'll just go back and check. Just quick check. Just I'm not going to go back too far. No, it doesn't look like so. I think I'm fairly well up to date. And so so I was talking about Seven and how a lot of these people I'm watching at the moment they seem to be having conversation with God, and that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm good with that because I have that conversation with God all the fucking time. I don't call him God. I don't know what he is, she is, but I have reason to believe it may be a masculine entity, like I call it higher self or whatever, like but it's not unusual to me. It's not unusual to me, so I don't freak out when I see people talking to God. That's okay. I do that all the fucking time, and it does keep me fucking sane. You know, like this little internal dialogue that goes on in the recesses of our minds. And I don't know how many people here, I wonder how many people actually sort of like have that conversation with themselves, and you got that little inner voice guiding you and telling you what, like, where you've gone wrong and where you might have gone right, and just it's like it's interesting. I've always found it interesting, the inner voice, the inner voice in people. How many people out there experience that? Or am I just an anomaly in the matrix, right? For all I know, it could be just an anomaly in the matrix of. Doesn't look like too many people have an internal dialogue going on here at all. Nobody. Just an anomaly. I'm an anomaly. I'm an anomaly. Holy shit. No. Nobody's having an internal dialogue with themselves. Sometimes I have better conversations with myself than I do with people out here in the fucking real world, you know, and sometimes I'm the only person to talk to around this fucking hellhole here in Ireland. Mascaras. I have an inner voice. I don't know how anyone could cope without one. Spanish is saying, I'm nuts as well, Jimmy. My best chats are with myself. Yeah. Oh, it's taken the chat so long to catch up. There you go. That's why context is important. Ascorbic acid. That's the one, Mia. That's the one, Mia. Yeah, absolutely. Ascorbic acid. You're way behind, Mia. Way behind. It's like, you know, no wonder it's very, very hard to keep up with the chat sometimes. Jerry is saying it's an Irish thing. Jimmy, an Irishman, must converse with the Almighty to find his equal. Brilliant, Jerry. That is class. Now, there you go. That's the most sensible thing I've heard in quite some time. Brilliant. uh, uh, Mahatma said, sometimes I speak to whatever it was that created everything, but it never seems to work. Um, I don't know. I never speak to it, Mahat. Never. I never verbalize it or anything. It's an internal dialogue. I just it's an internal thing. It's not something that I say that I can speak to. I can't speak to it. But it's kind of like a dialect that goes on. Like it's like it's not 24/7. It's not all the fucking time. It's not all the fucking time. Like, but it's like it's fairly. It's kind of in my face. It took me a good many years to realize that it was going on. Like, when I was younger, I had no clue. Like, and it was probably going on when I was younger as well too. Like, but it was only later in life that I realized that shit. I've got this dialogue thing going on here. It's like, who the fuck is my brain communicating with? It's like, I'm very, very observant of it now. Like, so Spanish is saying that you are your own creator. I wouldn't doubt that for a second, man. I wouldn't doubt that for a second. Although I'm quite okay with the possibility that, like, we may be just beaming in here from a space station somewhere, and we're kind of like, as archaics would say, kind of maybe in a simulation now. I'm almost on board with that, and I'm just so close to that. Like, even though I don't think it's like a simulation, like holography and stuff like that. I think it's much more. I think it's much more subtle. I think it's much more advanced than that. Like, whatever's going on this fucking planet, like, because clearly, it's fucking. It's a combination of technology and biology. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. That's life, but not as we know it. Hello and welcome. Okay, you just stumbled onto this. How did you just stumble in here? This is not the sort of place you just stumble into. Like, this is. Come on. As Ron said in his tune, this is a private club. Holy shit, man! How did you just stumble in here? It's like. Anyway, but welcome to the Nut House. That's all I'll say. Welcome. So it's not that bad. It's not so much of a nut house. Like, we have our own ways here. That's life, but not as we know it. Well, we're not that bad. Like, we're kind of fairly well balanced here. It's like, I'm the only fruit cake here. The rest of them are all fairly normal compared to me. Like, it's like. So, but I'm pretty sure, like, everybody will welcome you in as part of the family, and nice of you to join. And however the fuck you found us, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're here now, and I would love to make you a moderator, but I can't. But anyway, there you go. So that aside now, that aside, so that was just kind of like a little bit of an intro to this evening's show, a little bit of fucking banter, which I hadn't really fucking scripted or anything like that, but I did want to talk about Seven Spalding and his conversation with God and stuff like that, which, and I was just fascinated by. I've been fascinated with it like this last couple of weeks, just watching him just converse with God on a live stream. It was like, wow, very, very interesting, very, very interesting, and and because of the fact that he's not the only one, I'm not doing this. I'm just wondering, has the human psychology been infected with some sort of virus? Right? There's something going on, which is really fucking weird, right? And um, and hopefully it'll be for the best, like because I think mankind clearly seems to have lost its way a little bit, and pertinent questions are being asked of mankind now at the moment, and womankind. Let's not. Let's be inclusive here. Let's be inclusive here. Womankind as well. But I think we're all being asked pertinent questions, like about like what the fuck is going on in this shithole, man. Is any of this fucking shit real? If we were living in a sane society, would this bullshit be going on? It's like, so um, there's an interesting things going on in this world at the moment, like regards human psychology, which I'm not qualified to go fucking into, like, but I'm telling you, I'm seeing it everywhere. People are sort of looking and saying, "What the fuck is going on here? The fuck." Is this how normal people are supposed to carry on? Just just how normal people treat each other, and I think we all get it. Like we all fucking get it. Like, and we'll just have to wait and see how this fucking pans out. Pans out because I think there's some serious fucking changes coming. Like, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, it's kind of interesting at the moment. Like, with all these talks of wars, rumors of wars, all this fucking shit, man. And I haven't been tuned into it this week at all. I haven't tuned into any war shit at all. I swear to God, I am just so fucking fed up with it. Like, it's like one drama to a fucking another drama, and then you're mid the fucking drama, and then you find out that like the big drama is not the fucking drama that you fucking thought it was, and that like, oh shit, that's fucking lies, that's fucking fake. It's almost not worth fucking following it in real time. That's the conclusion I am coming to. Just pointless fucking trying to follow this shit in real time. Much better off just to fucking relax, just take a step back, follow it in real time, but just don't draw any conclusions from it. Don't take any fucking sides. Say nothing. Do nothing. Just let shit develop. Like, and if something happens, give it a week, give it 2 weeks, and let the dust settle and just see what really did fucking happen. Because the way the fucking disinformation machine is fucking rolling at the moment, like you don't know what the fuck's going on. You don't know who's telling truth, who's telling fucking lies, and sometimes it takes about 2 weeks for the truth to actually come out. Like and it's just like okay. So I'm just at that stage now where okay, I can't follow the fucking news, but I should follow. I'm following the news, but look, shouldn't just jump to conclusions about any goddamn fucking thing I hear or see. And so that's, I'm at that stage now where I just think like fucking running a news show like Racoons News is almost becoming fucking pointless because, I could report something as news here today and then have to come around next fucking week and say, oh, okay, guys, it turned out it was all fucking lies. How are you going to run a news show like that, man? It's next to impossible, pointless, absolutely pointless. Mia is saying, higher self, yep, always check self, sometimes get better reply than from others. Yeah, I 100% agree, Mia. But although, like, I've been building community here in my own life, and I have this dialogue going on inside myself, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm constantly like, I am literally talking to myself on the fucking streets. I'm talking to myself when I'm walking and stuff like that. And I'm okay with that now. I kind of like got over the paranoia of it all. That's okay, right? So I'm talking to God then. That's all right. Okay, God's having a conversation with me, and I'm okay with that now. I'm not just talking to myself. I've got some fucking voice in my head fucking telling me, are you sure you're doing the fucking right thing here? Keep me on fucking track, keep me on fucking path. And it's not just happening to me. And I'm pretty sure it's happening to a lot of fucking people outside there, outside of my sphere. But I always am on the lookout for people I can talk to outside of my sphere, outside there in the community and stuff like that, you know. So just trying to keep a look out for them at the same time because they're there. Um, they're not always obvious. They don't make themselves fucking known. They don't jump up and down fucking protesting about this, that, and the other. You kind of meet them like when you're not expecting, like, and universe just seems to throw them on my path at the right time and the right fucking place, and they know what I fucking know, and they're able to converse about fucking stuff that I think that I know about what's going on, and so whatever change is happening in the in the consciousness in general, like it's like it's not just happening to me, it's happening to a lot of fucking people, and but it's not always very fucking obvious, not always very, it's very very subtle what's going on. So I'm always on the lookout for it now. I'm always looking out for people that I can converse with. They're not always thrown in my path, not always, but they come along. They do come along when you least expect it. Like, and I've noticed like some people who always used to like to sort of like try to corner me and have a conversation and stuff. I've just become very, very. I wouldn't say intolerant or anything like that. What I would say is that I've become very fucking vocal, very, very. Uh, when I'm talking to people, I get very fucking pointed with them and try to pin them down to specifics, like, you know, whether it's if I were to give you an example, like there's an old lad where I work, right, and he always stops, and when he stops, he likes to talk for about 2 hours about all the stuff that he'd done in his life, here, there, and fucking everywhere. And I was getting very, very pissed off with this fucking conversation that he was having with me, because he wasn't having a fucking conversation. He was just reminiscing about shit that he had. And I said, look, what about the fucking excess fucking debts, right? And that's what I says to him one day. I just got fucking pissed off. What about the fucking excess debt? You want to talk about this, that, and the other. What about the fucking excess debt? The only fucking thing that is fucking going on here. And how come that coincides with a certain intervention that was taken very, very... Why does nobody want to fucking talk about that, right? And he almost went into a fucking panic, right? Nearly went... and what he done then was he started to go back to talk about things that happened to him about 30 fucking years ago. So, look, I get a lot of that, like, you know, from time to time, but um, most of the time I'm quite off with people, you know, unless they make eye contact and genuinely want to have a conversation. Um, I keep people at a distance because I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are on their life process. Like, you know, I don't tolerate much fucking bullshit. Like, and I don't want to talk about bullshit with people. Like, you know, so I've gotten very pointed over the last couple of years about like what I'll talk to people about, how far I'm willing to go down there, just fucking small talk fucking route. You know, people like to talk about fucking small talk, but I'm not a small talk type. I want to talk about what's fucking going on. Um, had a great conversation about a week ago with my boss. Good guy, really good guy, ex-army guy, ex-army guy. He's now he took over where I work about 8 9 months ago, and over the last 8 months we've been developing a rapport. We've been developing a rapport. He's very very tuned in, very fucking knowledgeable. And I remember the last conversation I had with him. Right, it was like we were talking about what was going on in Israel. And he says, he came out to me and said, "Oh, it's really kicking off out there in Israel now, isn't it?" He says, and I says back to him, "I don't believe a word of it, right? I don't believe a goddamn fucking word of it." I says to him. He says, "But they were attacked," he said. He says, "Yeah, I know. They were attacked, yeah. So what? But I don't believe a goddamn fucking word of it." I says, "There's no way Israel security did not know that was coming, right?" It was like, well, we're on that fucking level. He is ex-army guy. I don't know whether I'd call him a normie. He's much too intelligent to be a normie, like, but he's open for these conversations, right? I'm finding this with people more and more and more, that like there's people out there, they want to have the conversation more and more. So I don't know where we're going with this shit, like, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting when the shit hits the fan. Like, I have no idea how long it's going to be till the shit hits the fan, but it's going to hit the fucking fan for sure, right? It's like there's. And I don't like to say that there's some sort of grand awakening going on. I'm not so sure there is a grand awakening going on. I'm not even sure how many real people are on this goddamn fucking planet. It's probably not as many as we think is being reported. Like, are there even 8 billion people on the planet? Is there any evidence to support the fact that there's 8 billion people on the planet? I don't know. I'm at the stage where I don't believe fucking anything, right? Rob was saying we're a bunch of cunts. That's life. Lol. Especially Tinny. Now, come on. Rob, you're a bunch of cunt. Like, granted, like, if you were to call yourself a cunt, I'd probably believe you, right? But no, we. Who's this we, right? There is no we here, right? So I'm good. I'm good. I call myself a cunt. I'm fucking cunt central here. I'm the worst cunt on the planet. Like, and I don't mind admitting that. Like, but I can only speak for myself. Um, so, and I have a lot of respect for anybody who's not afraid to call themselves a cunt either. It's just the way it is, man. I'm a bastard, right? I'm the worst cunt, man. You don't want to get into a conversation with me if you don't know what you're getting into. Like, I'm a cunt. I'm liable to say anything, and liable to say fucking anything, and just the way it is. Okay, that's life, but not as we know it. Said it popped up because of Bart Zabrell video. Okay, right. Yeah, Bart Zabrell would have been one of the last interviews, Jason. I was on that interview with Jason when it was done, and before Jason died, so that would have been the last video because Jason was the heart and soul of this channel, like, and somehow I fucking ended up here, right? And Bart Zabrell was the last interview, near enough. I think near enough the last interview. Jason um, invited on here, so and Bart was on regular here. Bart was a regular here, so that's the why. So poor old Jason's no longer here, I'm afraid. And as a lot of people here would say, thank fuck he's gone. It's like, holy shit, Jim, have manners, have manners. It's like, thank fuck he's gone. But I have no doubt. Yeah, I know me. I'm way behind you on the read up, but I was on a little bit of a rant there. I was on a little bit of a rant. This happens. This happens when I go on a rant. It's like it's hard to keep up, like with where all the comments are. It's nearly impossible. I get a lot of flack for it, but that's okay. I'm good for taking flack. That's my job. I was tuned into that, Jerry. Yeah, I was well. We have a similar debate going on here in Ireland as well too, regarding the excess mortality. It's like I'm almost over it all. I'm not following the excess mortality at the moment. It's like, and there's a good reason why I'm not following the excess mortality. And in conjunction with climate change, I think that's a little bit of a climate change. It's just a Greta Thunberg fucking talking point, and it's like it's nothing got to do with the situation. And here's what's going on, like in my mind with the excess mortality. It's like this was unavoidable anyway. We were always going to end up in this state where we have a problem with excess mortality because we've got an aging population. It was always going to happen this way. Now, granted, I think that the 100% safe and effective treatment may be contributing to a certain extent in this excess, like, but this was going to fucking happen anyway. Um, I might actually do a little breakdown of some of the demographics in the, but I don't see the point because the information is out there already. Like, we we are going to be living in a world where there's going to be a lot fewer people very, very shortly, right? Simple reason being, people stopped having children because they couldn't afford the little bastards anymore. And to be honest, like, they're hardly fucking worth it, man. They're annoying little cunts at the end of the day. But people have stopped having children. And because it just got too expensive, like, if people are having to run two fucking jobs just to pay for a house and to pay for two cars so the mother and father can go to a fucking job and keep paying the fucking bills. And they can just barely probably have enough for one fucking child, right? And this is the way it's gone. We were always at, this is the tipping point that we are at. So whether the 100% safe and effective treatment has contributed to the excess death, I would agree that there may be some sort of like truth to that, because I'll tell you what, from what I've seen, there's some scary data coming out, like, but I can't talk about it too much here because do you know what? I've moved on from it. Like, I've moved on from the jab because it doesn't concern me. I didn't fucking take it. I'm not bothered about it. It's not my fucking problem. It's the problem now of the people who did fucking take it. If you fucking took it, and I think a lot of them are starting to figure out that, like, oh shit, there's something not fucking right with all this. They're getting it now. They're getting it now. It's no longer my fucking problem. It's now their problem, not mine. It wasn't like I didn't try to fucking talk out at the fucking time and warn people. They weren't listening to me. That's okay, you know. So I don't give a fuck about the excess debt now. If people decide, if a bunch of lemmings decide to jump over the cliff, am I going to fucking stand at the cliff and let them run over me and fucking maybe take me over the cliff with the bastards? No, it's not my fucking problem, and I'm not going to tell people it should or shouldn't be their problem. If people are upset about it, I get that, like, because it probably affects them as well too, like, because they have family members or whatever. But I'm so over it. I'm so fucking over it, man. I'm still following it a little bit, like, I am keeping track with the numbers, but from my point of view, having studied the demographic issue of the world, and I've only started studying it this last couple of months now, but I have to say, this was always going to happen anyway. We were going to see over the next 20 to 30 years a huge, huge die off in people, one way or the other. You can contribute it to the jab if you want, or you can also look at the overall picture and take demographics into it as well too. This was always going to happen. We were always going to end up at this point where we're going to have like a huge excess death, and we're going to be left with a reduced population. And very, very interesting, because we've been having a discussion over on the Telegram channel for a few weeks now about the Deagle report. It came up a few times anyway, the Deagle report, and about like what the what exactly were going to be the reductions in populations in the various countries around the world. Like, I'll give you one, for example, like here in Ireland, according to the Deagle report, we are expected to have a population reduction of about 70 to 75%. I think it was something similar in England and something similar in America. And I remember at the time, like, it says, like, what the fuck are they basing this shit on? Like, are we going to have a war, or is there going to be a virus outbreak? It doesn't matter about that shit. A demographic decline, which is going to happen, that would cause it. At least the most of it, like, and maybe like a bit of a war, maybe a bit of a virus might account for the other part of it, like, but it, and but the interesting thing was that their figures were based on 2025. So um, if you were to look at the demographic collapse, like, you wouldn't expect the total demographic collapse to happen for at least another 20 years anyway, at least, where it should become apparent. So who knows? Maybe some bright spark came up with a good idea, says, look, why don't we speed this along, and let's uh, let's reduce the stress on the future financial system, and let's see if we can help this along a little bit, because it's going to happen anyway. Who knows? There's a lot of evil fuckers out there. But one way or another, this population reduction of the earth was locked in anyway. And there's no doubt in my mind anymore. And we're beyond evil now at this stage, because it was going to happen anyway. It's like, that's just the way I see it. So I'm not overly invested in the excess debt conversation, because we have to get used to this. We're going to be seeing more and more of this over the coming 20 years, 30 years, and then what's left after that, we will see. We will see. We're looking at a new financial system. It's like, but you know how capitalist systems are. Like, if they're seen as sort of like a huge problem, like with a lack of younger people coming on into the system to support the older people who are dying off. If you were an evil capitalist, would I? Do you think that they might try to? Do you think that they might try to speed the process along and sort of like take out a few more in the process before the expected fucking date of Armageddon? I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out. It's like, is it right or wrong? I don't know, because I'll tell you what, I don't give a fuck about this world anymore. I don't even feel like I belong here sometimes. So it says, I've been telling this to myself for years. It's just, I don't really belong here, man. I don't feel attached to this fucking world. I don't give a fuck about it, man. It's just like, sometimes I just feel like I'm not supposed to be here. It's like, so I'm not overly invested in it, like one way or the other. It's like, might sound a little bit harsh, and and like, it might sound a little bit harsh, but I don't know. It's like, I'm a cunt. Like I said, I'm a fucking cunt. It's like, hold on. I'm gonna fucking move on really quick down to the fucking bottom, because I'm pretty sure there's loads of fucking talking points. Black Jelly's saying, me neither. Good on you, Black. Good on you, Black, because that's the only sensible fucking position to fucking take. And I assume that you're talking about like what I was talking about. I'm not overly invested in anything of this fucking world anymore. It's like, I'm waiting for the bus out of here, and I don't want to be coming back. Hopefully, I'm not going to be buying a return ticket. Mahat is saying, snap, fuck the world. Well, absolutely, but we're here. We're here, so we'll enjoy it for the moment, snap. For the moment, Mahat, we'll just enjoy while we're here. We connect, we have a chat, we talk loads of shit, man. We'll blow off steam here online, and and we'll connect, because look, we're spiritual beings at the end of the fucking day. I'm pretty sure we will all be having a great fucking laugh up in the spirit world when we fucking leave here. I've no doubt about it. Like, no fucking doubt about it. Some shit has happened to me in my fucking life. And I'll tell you what, I have no doubt that the spirit world is fucking real. And that shit, right? That shit that they fucking tell you, it's just a fucking dream. That's fucking real. I'm telling you, that's real. Okay? And there's no fucking psychologist on this planet will tell me that that's not fucking real, because I'll tell you what, some weird, fucking weird stuff has happened to me in goddamn dreams. And I've met people in dreams. And then afterwards, I've met them in real fucking life. You can't make this fucking shit up. The spirit world is fucking real, okay? And if anybody disagrees, you're welcome to come in and fucking debate me about it. How you doing, Sean? Are you well? Mia said, we're supposed to be detached, so in this world and not, and of it, so witness, observing. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm just here to observe. That's all. That's it. I don't participate in it. I do what I have to do just to fucking survive. Like, but at the end of the day, I'm here as an observer. You know, absolutely, 100 fucking percent. Dinny is saying, "You're a drunk chicken." When is he not drunk, Dinny? For fuck's sake, our Spanish loves a bit of a drink. You know. Absolutely, you know, he's well in fucking entitled to a goddamn fucking drink, man. I'd be curious to find out if Dinny is as sober as he's. I doubt Dinny's very sober either, you know. Look at John. Did you not? You missed the fucking start of the show, right? I told you I'm off my fucking rocker. I am off my fucking rocker, right? I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, man, right? You know, I tell you what, the fact that you're here tells me something about you too, right? That you're here listening to a fucking rocker, right? You know, you're in good company, Sean. You're in very, very good company. But anyway, I had a great conversation during the week, right? And I was compelled. I was compelled to reach out to an old friend of mine. For anybody who would have known me back in the old days of PIR and stuff like that, the old radio days, right? Well, Uni, you're back in the chat. Good man. Spanish saying Hitler is in. But I got in touch with Sean McGee during the week, man. I had no choice but to contact him, and to be honest, it was overdue, right? Now, I'll be getting Sean in one of the weeks now, very, very shortly, because as a guest, right, as a very, very special guest. So when he comes in, be nice to him, right? Be nice to him. None of your aggro stuff to him, like, because you know, he is he's a self-confessed Marxist, right? Self-confessed communist, right? And but he's my brother. He's my fucking brother, and I love him to bits. So we'll be getting Sean in over the next week or two. I just have to get my fucking new sound card. Just have too much other fucking shit going on in my fucking life to be worried about sound cards. So I will be getting a new sound card in, and Sean will be joining me as a guest. He used to work with Sean years ago. On when we were just doing radio at the time. That's all we done. We just done radio. So yeah, Denny, that's the lad from Limerick. Yeah, that's him. The lad with the posh English accent, right? He's a great lad. Like he's a gem, right? So lots of people were saying to me, Jim, why don't you get a fucking co-host and stuff on? And I've been thinking about it for a long time. You know, it was on my mind even before people were asking me about it. Like, you know, it's like, because I was thinking about it a long time before, and I couldn't think of anyone, right, except Sean. And it's been on my mind for a while, but I wasn't even sure if I was going to keep this fucking channel going, right? So I've been letting it stew for months now, you know, for months now. So now that I'm back in touch with Sean again, and he's okay. He didn't die. He got the 100% totally safe and effective cure for the you know what's, right? And I was so worried. I was so worried when I was calling us. Is the cunt still alive? Is this little bastard still alive? And turned out he answered the fucking phone, right? So it's shit, man. So I got such a shock, right? No, man, not Sean not that fucking little fat bastard. No, no, not that cunt. No. Jesus Christ, Sean McGuire, are you mad? I hated that bastard. Hated him with a passion, right? Disgusting. No, no, not him. No. That's, I'll tell you what. Of all the things people have said to me lately, like, that's fucking mad. Sean McGuire, too? No way, you fucking mad. Did you not were you not paying attention back in the PIR days? I used to have more rows with that little fat cunt than anyone else, you know? No, bad, but not many people do like you. You're yeah, just I'm having a tough time finding anybody that does like it. It's like, holy shit, man. I have yet to go onto a channel yet that hasn't banned you. It's like, I'm joking, brother. I'm joking. It's like, see what I mean? I'm a cunt. I'm a fucking cunt. Can't help myself. Yeah, man. I used to call Maguire on his bullshit as well all the time too. So that's why he never liked me either. You know, that's why he never fucking liked me. And I don't know what info we had on the illustrious what's his name, Byrne at the time. He must have had something on him for Byrne to fucking kiss his arse so much. I don't know what was going on there, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just I'm not even going to try to fucking guess what was going on there. But not my business. Thank fuck. Thank fuck they're gone. That's all I'll fucking say. But yeah. So I'm thinking about asking Sean to come in. You know? That's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm going to get Sean in sometime in the next couple of weeks as an esteemed guest, a very, very esteemed guest. He was supposed to appear on Racoons News with me in 2016, believe it or not. And whatever happened, Sean wasn't able to make it on the fucking night. So poor old Andy Young and Jason. The very first time I ever met Jason, 2016, was that fucking show. And so perhaps at long last we might be able to get Sean McGee on, right? And so I'm going to ask us to be very, very fucking kind to him at first. Don't be nice to him, because I'm going to fucking propose to the bastard that he come in, right? I'm going to propose to him that he come in, and maybe we'll take this show in a different direction, right? And don't get me wrong, even though he's a communist and a Marxist, he's my brother, right? And I love him to fucking bits. We take the piss out of each other big time, you know. And it just be nuts, our conversation. How you doing, you the stuff? How you doing, you communist cunt? Like, you know. And he says, "Well, you fucking fascist," he'd say to me. So how are you doing? It's like, this is the way we are with each other, like, you know. So even though we're diametrically opposed, but we always had a good rapport with each other, and still managed to get some good work done, like, you know. No, not next week, Denny. Not next week, but it'll probably be the week after, right? Next week I will probably order my sound card and stuff, and hopefully the week after, then we'll get him in. So, but it would be. I think he'd be a great introduction to Raconteurs News, because it would give me a little bit of balance, you know. Just a little bit of balance, and because, like, you know, I am kind of like, I suppose I lean a bit conservative, even though I like to think I'm kind of middle of the road. But there's times when I just feel like I take sides, and so in a way it'd be good to have a little balance as well too. So I don't know whether he'll come in or not. Like, I can't promise anything, like, you know, but I am going to sort of like make a proposal to him. and maybe try to get him on board. Like, he'd be a great balancing. He would be a great balancer for me anyway, personally, because we do have a good rapport with each other. Like, and he's very tuned in. He hasn't changed a goddamn bit. He's still on to his anti-nuclear stuff and all like that. And he's still trolling Twitter and still fucking so. And I guarantee you, like, because I know the way he works, right? And he reaches out to all these activists everywhere. So, like, we could be getting activists in from all over the fucking world. Like, if we do manage to fucking uh, sort of like convince them to get on board, like, so we'll have a whole new type of fucking show here that, like, people are not used to. Like, there'll be no more flat earth and all that sort of shit. Like, it'll be, probably like real life people. Like, we might even get scientists and stuff like that. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I have to propose to the bastard yet, right? I just have to propose to him first. I don't know if he's going to wear the ring though. That's the only thing. So we'll just have to wait and see how that fucking works out. It's one thing proposing, but getting the fucking ring on the finger could be another fucking problem. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, there'll be nukes and all sorts flying, and you might even see the odd row between myself and Sean as well, too, because we don't always agree on everything, like, but it's like, that's one of those things, like, when you've got two diametrically opposed sort of like points of view, like, but I think it'd be good, like, I think it'd be good for balance sometimes, because, like, sometimes I feel like because I re-listened to the show I done last week, like, and oh my God, we were rimming it last week. I swear to God, how last week's show didn't get banned off the interzones, I don't fucking know. I was really fucking rimming it, like. Yeah, you must have got flooded over there, Mahat. I seen the reports, like, I seen the fucking reports that were coming in, like, and some serious rain, like. Didn't see that much of it here in Ireland. Like, I think the coasts got hit, Cork got hit, Waterford got hit, a few places like that. So, and Jenny, you got huge floods as well there too, Jenny, did you? Jenny, yeah, no, he has watched. He has watched the show before, Jenny. Yeah. Um, and I was chatting to him, like, because I hadn't spoken to him for about 2 years, or back um, around the time the jabs first came out, right? That was the last time I spoke to him, and he actually came down to visit me. Yeah, it was the first time me and him ever met face to face, right? We always, any communication we had was online, and voice at the time. There was no video at the fucking time because none of us had the fucking internet to fucking deal with it. Like, so, but times have changed since then. So, but actually, he came to visit fucking me, and he stayed for a couple of days. So he was aware of Raconteurs news. He remembered it straight away. And when I told him that poor old Jason had died, and he got a bit of a fucking shock, man. He says, "Oh, so." Yeah, he remembered. He remembered the crew. Like, he did remember Jason. He straight away. What a great fucking mind, man. He remembered him straight away. Like, which surprised me. Because I didn't even remember Jason. It was like, at the time, like, I knew fuck all about Jay, but because I remembered Andy Young like the best, like, and. It took me some time to fucking remember that, but that interview back in 2016, I totally forgotten that there was an interview with me, Andy Young, and Jason. Totally forgot about that. That was fucking nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. Like, and I'd forgotten all about Jason being there. And that was when I knew the very, very first time that I'd met Jason. But I'll tell you, Sean McGee remembered him. He fucking did. What a brain. What a brain. Sean is saying that they're priming us for rural decommissioning and population relocation. Oh, look, at the end of the day, Nobody knows what's going to fucking happen. I'll tell you, nobody fucking knows what's going on, Sean. There's going to be such a collapse of the population over the next 20 to 30 years. The planet that we live on right now will be unrecognizable. It'll be a totally different economy. It's going to be totally fucking different. Whatever you're fucking hearing online about moving everybody, forget about it, man. Forget it. You can't believe anything that you hear, see, or goddamn fucking read from whatever fucking conspiracy sites or whatever. Just there's a collapse coming, like, and it's not a it's a population collapse. Put it short. Look into demographics. Look into demographics, and then you'll understand why all the shit's going on. Then you'll understand why the Great Reset. Like, it's not like some Klaus Schwab sort of like nefarious fucking. Although I'm not saying that they're not a bunch of cunts, but it's much deeper than it's much deeper than anybody knows, and I think that I can understand that they're reluctant to tell fucking people about it, like, because there's going to be some serious fucking changes, and it's going to, it is what it is. Everyone should be a commie until 25. I was a commie until 25. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's exactly it. Around 25, I started to come out of it, John. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. When I was young, and I was very, very, I started to get involved with loads of communist fucking Marxists and stuff like that, and get into protests and jump up and down and give out about the government, this, that, and the other. But I was over it. I was over it by about 25. Absolutely. That every child should be a communist when they're young. Absolutely. I totally agree. That's exactly the way it should fucking be. Every fucking young person should be going around with blue hair, pink hair, all sorts of fucking shit. I don't agree with them gluing themselves to roads. I think, I don't know where that come from, but it's like, I don't agree with that. Like, but, just traditional protests, traditional disobedience. That's the role of the young person, because, you have to go through these fucking phases to learn, you have to. At a certain stage, early in life, you should sort of like be able to recognize that there's something really fucking wrong going on, and that's your duty to step up and fucking have a voice, and sort of like, if you see injustice, fucking call it out for what it is. But as you get older, then you need to fucking temper it, like, and just sort of like try to differentiate between like childhood fucking fantasies and like reality, like, so yeah, that's a really good fucking point, John. Absolutely. And I would never disparage a young person for being a communist or anything, a protest. And I take offense with them being allowed to glue themselves and to fucking roads. I'll tell you what, that's dangerous. And but look, it is what it is, like, but I totally sort of like on board with the spirit of communism in the youth, like, because that's what they should be doing, getting involved, learning to vocalize their opinions and take positions, whether they're right or wrong. They can learn that with fucking time. They can learn that with fucking time, and later in time, I think a lot of younger people who have been quite vocal in the past will probably come around to more conservative sort of values, a little bit more traditional, and not so extremist. I think that's the natural course of things, sometimes I can't believe I was a communist, but I don't think it done me any harm. I don't think it done me any wrong. In fact, it was a big factor in my life. When I used to go out to protest, when we used to organize events, when we took over a union in a hospital, for fuck's sake, like, we were nuts. We took over a whole goddamn fucking union, even though, that's what we thought at the time. But, reality in our heads at the time was very, very much removed from actual reality. But that's what we thought at the fucking time. But really, only we got a seat at the table. And that's the way it was, like, but you're not supposed to know how life is like when you're young, like, my heart goes out to Greta Thunberg. It's just like, she's a child. She's a child, and so she doesn't bother me that much, even though she's been used as a mouthpiece um, for various agendas and stuff like that. I do feel for her. I understand, like, she's at that point in her fucking life, and give her another couple of years, and she'll be thinking a lot differently about life. I assume, I assume she will. Like, if she goes through the same process I went through as a younger person, I think she'll be thinking quite differently. So there's lots of conversation going on. I'm just going to fast forward down to the bottom. Spanish saying Jimmy lives in a kibbutz in era. Nothing of the sort, Spanish. Nothing of the sort, but it might be. Who knows? Maybe in a couple of years it might be a kibbutz. I don't know. It depends how. It depends how fucking much things fucking change. I don't know what changes are going to come, or how we're all going to adapt to the changing economy and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting. As far as I can gather, there is no concept of a plan for what the future economy is going to look like. I know you got a lot of people fucking spouting bullshit about, like, we're all going to CBDCs and all. No, nobody fucking knows what the future economy is going to look like. So, are we going to be living a more rustic lifestyle in the countryside, where all the people who are seriously fucked up and damaged will be living in the cities? And that could be. But I know one thing for sure. There's a lot of us who won't be opting into that sort of shit. We'll be opting to stay down the fucking countryside and probably become farmers, live rustic lives. So I can see that happening. Like, so I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the fucking future. It's not written just yet. Like, so we shall see. Denny Raconteurs news with James Netanyahu. It's like, uh, yeah. I don't know what's going on in Israel, Mahatma. I really don't. It's like it's an odd sort of a fucking place there at the moment. I was listening to a fascinating discourse with a woman who name is. Hold on, I'll just have to go into my notes a little bit and see if I can fucking find this. What the fuck was her name? Hold on, I'm on the wrong page here. I think it was one of the last links. Uh, yeah, Caroline Glick, right? There's this chick called Caroline Glick. Now, she's an absolute Zionist, right? But I've been tuned into her stuff now for a week or two now, but she's a total Zionist, and she's on board. Like, she'd be one of these types that would think that, like, Gaza should be bombed to fucking dust, right? But I was listening to one of her shows there just before, when Biden arrived in Israel. Do you remember when Biden arrived in Israel there just a few weeks ago for his meeting with Netanyahu? And she was going berserk. She was absolute. And this is Caroline Glick. Now, she's fairly well renowned. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll post a link to. I'll actually post a link to the podcast I'll listen to, right? And you can go back and you can listen to it yourself, right? And it was just unfucking real. The vitriol that she was coming out with, like, about why the USA was denying Israel access to their bunker busters, right? I actually might play a little bit of it. I might actually play a little bit of it for you, right? Let's see if I connect up the audio, and you can make up. I'll play a little bit of it, right? And I haven't highlighted any particular areas of it, like for that might be relevant, like, but I might just chop through it like a little bit and just give you a sense of what type of an individual she is, right? Browser, video, browser. Just give me a moment just to fix this shit, man. I didn't do this before because I hadn't planned on doing fuck all tonight, like, but just to give you a listen to what this chick is about, right? Come on, Jim. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together.
It's actually coming from the Biden administration. We right now are in the danger of losing our sovereign control over our military, and I'll explain. Secretary of State Tony Blinken arrived here yesterday, and he had a 7-hour meeting in our war cabinet with the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister, Betty Gantz, as well as the observers, Ambassador Ron Dermer and Gadi Eisenhower. And from what came out of the meeting, Tony Blinken wasn't trying to help Israel at all. What he was doing was demanding that Israel enable resupply to Gaza, the euphemism of which is humanitarian aid. And I'll get to that in a second. And Tony Blinken was threatening withholding American war material from Israel that we need, specifically things like bunker buster bombs and just the bombs, the normal ordnance for our jets, which are all American, and other things, including artillery shells. And unless Israel provides humanitarian aid, then they were also saying after, from my sources, President Biden, who is due to come here tomorrow, Wednesday, it was reported that Israel invited him to come. Well, Israel didn't invite Biden to come, according to my sources, out of its own free will. Rather, the administration demanded that Israel invite President Biden to come. He wants to come. Why does he want to come? I don't know, ask his presidential campaign. At any rate, he's supposed to arrive here on Wednesday. And we have all of our forces poised at the border with Gaza waiting to go in. Yediot Ahronot published a report today saying that the battalion commanders and the brigade commanders in the Southern Command, the people who are actually going to be carrying out the mission, started demanding to go in, and explained that both the readiness and morale of their troops in waiting to invade is becoming more and more difficult to maintain because of the prolonged wait. We're also losing the momentum that we had after the October 7th massacre by Hamas against our people. And, not to mention that the international media has already turned on Israel and is now acting as though while Hamas is holding more than 200 Israeli hostages in Gaza and torturing them and raping them and everything else that we know that they're doing there, using them as human shields, including babies, right? While this is happening and while we have over 300 people still missing and whose bodies have not been identified and may never be identified because of the destruction that Hamas wrought, we have the International Press Corps braying and saying that it's all Israel's fault, and we have all these Hamas supporters throughout the Western world who are feeling empowered, and not unreasonably given the backing that they're receiving from the media. And so while all of this is happening, we're standing at the border, and the answer that the commanders in the Southern Command have received from hires is that we can't do anything until Biden leaves. So that Biden is literally acting as a human shield for Hamas. So long as he hasn't arrived yet and he hasn't left yet, Hamas is not, their terror state is going to be free from invasion. And this brings me back to the humanitarian aid thing. So while Blinken was sitting in the cabinet, he was demanding that Israel provide humanitarian aid to Gaza. And everybody's screaming about humanitarian aid, humanitarian aid. There are 100 or more. There are hundreds of trucks awaiting at the border in Egypt to come into Gaza and provide humanitarian aid to the poor Gazans, right? As if this was an earthquake, as if they're earthquake victims and not willing participants in a genocide against the Jewish people, right? As if the majority of Gazans didn't vote for Hamas in their one election in 2006, as if Hamas doesn't still command the support of a majority of Gazans more than 15 years into its reign of terror. It does. As if Hamas doesn't control every square centimeter and every single person living in Gaza. We're going to be able to give humanitarian aid to these people, right? So we're being required to give humanitarian aid. But here again, what is humanitarian aid? It is resupply to Hamas. They control all of Gaza. They control everybody living in Gaza. And, the latest proof of that was yesterday, an UNRWA tweet went up that said words to the effect of, Hamas has been looting our offices and we don't, when we're helpless. And after this goes up, it was deleted, and who knows where this employee is now being hung by his fingernails. But it went down, and then UNRWA put up this thing disavowing the social media posts, claiming that Hamas had been plundering their offices. And what's most ironic about this is that reports that have come out over the past many years have shown that most of the UNRWA employees in Gaza, the UN employees in Gaza, are also members of Hamas. And more to the point, Hamas launches its missiles and rockets against Tel Aviv and against Jerusalem and against the major population centers in Israel from rocket launchers that are located underneath UN schools and hospitals throughout Gaza. So Tony Blinken is sitting for 7 hours with our war cabinet demanding that we enable the resupply of Hamas. Because again, every single truck that goes into the Gaza Strip is under Hamas control. Any cargo that's inside of them, whether it's anything from baby formula to rocket launchers, is under Hamas's control. And by the way, who inspects those trucks? People who are supposed to inspect those trucks are from the UN. And who does the UN work for? Who are their lives at the mercy of? That's right, Hamas. So what's going to block resupply of ammunition and missiles to Hamas through this humanitarian corridor that Tony Blinken is demanding that Israel open? And he got his demand, by the way. And
right, that's enough for you, you sad fucking cow. Right, okay. Well, I'm going to pause it there. I just wanted to play a little bit of that for you, right? Just to give you a little bit of perspective of some of the Zionist, what I would call the Zionist fucking shills are going on about. Hold on, I had to go away there just for a minute as well too, just to grab a quick fucking piss as well, right? So I'll catch up with the chat in just a moment, but I found that very, very fascinating. It's all very fucking fascinating what's going on in Israel at the moment, right? Because as far as I gathered, yeah, Israel still not have entered Gaza, right? They still haven't entered Gaza. Yeah, Spanish. She does sound a little bit like Madeleine Albright, But if you were listening to her there, she was talking about America, they won't give us our bunker busters. They won't give us our bunker busters. And what about all the parts for the aeroplanes and all the little artillery? America won't give them to us. It's like, oogie, googie, googie, goo. It's like, what the fuck is going on, right? What the fuck is really going on? Israel still haven't gone into Gaza, right? And I'm just starting to wonder, right? Are Israel being declawed and defanged as we speak, right? I don't know. I have no evidence to say yay or fucking nay. All I know is everything is not as it seems, right? And I thought it very, very poignant as well during the week that orange, that little shithead orange bastard, right? That fucking Trump cunt, right? Came out during the week, right? And he was going on about his disgraceful It's absolutely disgraceful that the Biden administration would give 100 million in humanitarian aid to the people in Gaza and to Hamas, right? Just like I can't. Do you know what? I used to think Trump was kind of all right, but do you know what? Over the last over the last 2 years, I've come to despise the little fucking bastard, right? And I'm starting to think that that little cunt should be in fucking jail, right? That's where I think he should be for being a fucking traitor, to be a goddamn fucking traitor. But I tell you what, if you want to, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to post a link to that presentation by that Caroline Glick, right? It's fascinating. Have a listen to the whole lot of it. Like she's very very hard to listen to at times because she's such a fucking warmonger. The lack of humanity in this fucking woman, right? She spends the whole fucking show going on about needing more bunker busters, right? And and the supply of aid and I'm not on any fucking side here. I have no I have little or no respect for Hamas. Neither do I have any respect for Israel, and I've lost a lot of respect for America. But I just wonder. I just fucking wonder: is there a change happening? Have America decided that it's time to fucking take their own fucking country back and get out from under that fucking jackboot of fucking Israel, who seem to have captured their fucking goddamn country? Like, you know, there's no other way to fucking describe it. Like, you know, America just seemed to be a captured goddamn nation under the fucking jackboot of the Israeli lobby, who seem to fucking run the country, you know. It's very, very fascinating what's going on in America as well, too, at the moment, because Jim Jordan is set to fucking back out of the run for Speaker of the House over in the States. Anybody who hasn't been following what's going on in the States, it looked because McCarthy got booted out, he got fucking ejected, and Jordan, who I would have thought like would have fucking won that fucking vote for Speaker of the House in a landslide, who is pro-Zionist, pro-Israel, he's not getting in. He's backed out of that goddamn fucking race now as well too. So what the fuck is going on in America? Is America being taken back? I know people look on and they look at Biden and they think. What the fuck is going, you know, and I get that because I don't know what the fuck either is going on in America. It's like it's almost like a fucking clown show what's going on the political sphere. But like, I think what's more interesting is what's going on behind the fucking scenes. It's like, I mean, you don't need any qualifications to be the president of the United States of America. You don't need any qualifications to be fucking president or a political sort of like a political sort of like face in any country in the fucking world. It just seems to be all you need. The only qualification that you need really is that you have been sort of like captured on one of Epstein's videos over on being caught on the fucking flight logs of the Lolita Express. You know, that's the only way that you can fucking describe the current situation on the globe at the moment. It's kind of fucking weird, man. Absolutely weird. So whatever Biden is saying, he's only doing what he's fucking told to say. So I don't know whether we're starting to see the American middle management class sort of like take their country back. Is that what's going on? It's just kind of like a slow take back of the whole situation, because it's odd that Israel are kind of, like, they're still bombing the place, like, but it's become apparent to me from listening to that Caroline Glick fucking show that, like, clearly Israel is dependent so much on fucking America for everything that they need to do. So if they're going to prosecute a war, they can't do it without America, right? Now, it also seems to me as well too that whatever is fucking going on as well too. And here's that link to the Caroline Glick show. By the way, I forgot. Did I post it in? Oh, I did. I posted it in already. I posted it in again. It's worth watching. It's worth watching, right? Even if you can't stand the old fucking hag, it's worth watching, right? Uh, but another thing that's going to be on the horizon now, very, very shortly, and we're going to see the proof of the pudding is anybody who's been following the war in Ukraine for the last 2 years, right? Anybody who's been following it closely, who's been listening to the alt media and about how America are running out of ammo, they they're running out of money, they're running out of this, that, and the other. There's disarray. We are about to fucking find out just how fucking far the American reach is going to be. Because if it's true, what the alt media fucking shitheads are fucking saying for all this time, that like America's fucked, they're stark raving mad, they're running out of money, running out of fucking ammo, running out of this, that, and the other, and they are losing this war. Are they going to be able to fucking prosecute this on two fronts, right? This is going to be the proof in the fucking pudding, right? And I'll tell you what, a lot of these fucking alt media fucking so-called superstars are going to be eating their fucking shorts very shortly, I think, when the truth comes out. And it's going to be apparent, right? It's going to be very fucking apparent very, very shortly about just how fucked America really is, right? Because I've never believed it. Never fucking believed it, you know? Of course they're able to fucking prosecute fucking war on two fronts. And they're well capable of doing it on three fronts. Well capable. Especially with NATO backing, I think, you know? So we're soon going to find out. We're soon going to find out. Don't take my fucking word for it. I think we will fucking see when the time comes. You know, Tinny is posting in a Z there. The UN are setting up all nations to be consumed by their inherent corruption. Can you see how they get you to cheer on their fakery yet? I'm not following the UN now, to be honest, Sean. I'm not following UN like too closely, like because the UN seem to have too many vested interests. Too many vested in. I don't trust the UN. I'm not interested in the UN. To be honest, I'm watching. Personally, I'm watching NATO. I'm watching Russia. Um, I'm watching Israel. I'm watching Israel quite closely. I'm watching Ukraine. I'm watching Germany, Poland. Soon be watching Romania, and I'm watching the NATO countries in particular. The UN is irrelevant, like they're kind of a toothless organization. The UN, remind me, if anybody who's familiar with Star Wars, or is it Star Wars where you got that like the 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 Universal Council, like, you know, and they're a toothless bunch of fucking backstabbing little bastards who are not unified and will fucking turn on each other at the moments. Fucking know. The UN is irrelevant. I think the UN is probably going to be dissolved. Like, you know, there's no way China should be fucking nearly head of that fucking organization when China should be ostracized from it. Like at the end of the fucking day. But anyway, that's just my personal view on the UN. I don't pay any attention to the UN. It's like they're a corrupt organization and seriously need reform. Without reform, I think in most sensible people's eyes, that they will never truly represent like the the good part of humanity, like, you know, which we kind of all expect. Like, you know, if you were to think about a UN organization which supported peace and truth and reconciliation, you know, they don't represent that at all. Like they're kind of toothless, sort of like an entity, like with no backbone and no no mandate either. No real mandate. No plan, no vision, and no unity. So um, they're of little use to me anyway. NATO, on the other hand, they have a use, I think, but they need reform as well too. NATO needs serious reform. There's a lot of corruption in NATO. Without reform, whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. I think once all the fucking bullshit settles down, I think we might start to see some heavy reform in a lot of these sort of like structures that were created a long time ago and are no longer fit for purpose. But I don't see them going away. I don't see them going away. Um, but look, I know which side my bread is buttered on. No, none of these nations are at war with each other. No, Sean. There's none of them at war with each other. They're it's a corporate takeover. It's a corporate takeover, basically, an attempted corporate takeover. There is no war with the nations, and if there is, it's been manufactured to be so. Uh, we're seeing a land grab going on, and I think in a way we're seeing a people grab as well too, but mostly a land grab. The UN are shutting down airports, stopping free movement, cars, etc. They're far from toothless, says Mahatz. For fuck's sake, Jim, says Sean, the UN is the globalist government since the signing of the UN Charter. They are running every one of these corporate slave states now. Yeah, well, maybe so. Who gives a fuck? I don't care, man. Who gives a fuck what they're running? You know? We have always lived under corrupt, fucking some form of corrupt governance, right? It's like, you know, what you gonna do about it? You gonna just sit there and fucking whinge and whine about it? Is that what you're gonna do? Like, okay, not for me to tell you what to do, but no point getting upset about it. Like, for fuck's sake, man, you know. We've always lived under corrupt fucking governmental fucking structures and orders. It's like, you know, that's the way That's how it works here in fucking slave landia, as Salente would say, slave fucking landia. That's the way it works, right? If you haven't accepted it now, you're not at peace with yourself, right? It's just like, settle. It is by the UN, Jim. It's all there in the sustainability documents and the 17th SDGs. Yeah, look, I know there's corruption, man. Look, I don't even see it as the UN. I see it as a mafia, several mafia groups who are in control of the fucking globe. That's okay. The fucking corrupt bastards have always been in control. Just don't let it get to you. All right, that's it. Like, you're either going to let these bastards rule your fucking life and get you upset about it, or you're just going to say, okay, I could see it for what it fucking is. And I'm not going to get fucking over emotional by all this fucking shit. Yeah, sure, right. We all know the shit, right? Everybody knows a little bit of fucking puzzle. That's okay, man. It's like, it's no big fucking deal. Everything is laid out in its policy. That's what politicians are for. Yeah. Well, politicians are for much more. Politicians are leverage. Politicians are leverage for anybody who's got the compromising photographs of them, like on Jeffrey Epstein's little island there, or other similar type islands. They're all compromised, man. So that's not what they're for. They're leverage. Leverage. Someone been sniffing a cork tonight. Well, Denny's saying, well, Denny's consistent anyway. Stop voting anyway, and I kind of agree with that, Denny. I do kind of agree with that. Like, look, I made a couple of mistakes voting, right? And it's just like, I never voted all my fucking life up until what was it? Was it the Maastricht Treaty? The Lisbon Treaty. I think I voted on the Lisbon Treaty and stuff like that, and then I got bored with voting again, So I had my phase of fucking voting, and I couldn't give a fuck about it anymore. Couldn't care less. Let the politicians do what they fucking do. Let the UN do what they fucking do. Let NATO do what they fucking do. I'll just sit back. I'm an observer here. It's like, that's okay, man. I sit back and I laugh at the whole fucking lot. Although sometimes, like, there's times when I was looking there over the last 10 days of what was going on in fucking Gaza, and when you start seeing people and children getting bombed to fucking bits, man, it's hard. It's very fucking hard, man. It's heart wrenching, shit. I had to stop. I had to stop and fucking reverse out of that. So I still follow all the channels, but like it's like, okay, that's enough now. Right. I know what you can do. That's all right. I know what you can do. And I don't want to see any more fucking pain and suffering. I know what's going on. But I know one thing for sure. It's not going Israel's way. I'm hoping that Israel are going to be declawed and defanged, and that will neutralize any Mid East fucking problems. Jenny never voted in his life. Yeah, okay. I can understand that, man. I voted a couple of times. But there's a lot of fear pouring going around at the moment that this Mid-East fucking conflict is going to spark World War III, right? But no, it's not. It's not. It's not going to fucking happen, right? Because the Mid-East is not that fucking unified. And from what I've gathered, like from all my research in the Mid-East, it's like not many people in the Mid-East give a fuck about Gaza, right? Very few of them. The Mid-East is very fucking divided along religious grounds, some are Sunni, some are Shia, and they dislike each other fucking equally, like, from what I gather, like, but at the end of the day, if America do actually sort of end up occupying fucking Gaza, I could see this happening. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to have to happen. There might be another way to do it, like, but I think if America do end up having to fucking occupy the goddamn shithole, I would welcome to see it happen, like, and bring reconciliation in that fucking area. It's long over fucking due, man. Now, some of the shit that's happened there since 1947 has just been, that should never have been allowed to happen. Like, um, I, I compare what I've seen going on to a genocide in a way. It's like a genocide and a mass relocation of fucking people and putting them into fucking goddamn prison cells, homes robbed, shit like that. That should never have been allowed to happen, But that's all happened under the watch of the West, right? And under our protection for so fucking long. So um, I don't know what's going on with America and Israel just at the moment, but from what I gathered from that Glick interview was that like America are fucking reining them in, and it's not before fucking time somebody reined those little bastards in, those genocidal cunts, right? They're not even from there. They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. But anyway, that's not saying it can't be fixed, right? So we'll see what happens anyway. But I just found that very fascinating when that Glick interview. America are not supplying them with what they fucking need to prosecute their war. And she's a very, very well renowned researcher and opinionated, outspoken person in the Israeli community. So worth paying attention to what she's saying there. Worth paying attention to. Um, and on that note, right? On that note, we're kind of like finishing up here for the night now. So I think what I'll do is I'll chuck in the after link for the show. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll wind it up. Like we've had enough war talk. And you've heard enough of my fucking shit for one fucking night, man. And we'll pick this back up again next Saturday night. Keep an eye out for that when I get Sean on. Like, you'll absolutely you'll love him. Like, and be nice to him on the fucking night. Don't be a bunch of cants, right? Don't be a bunch of cants just because he's a communist bastard, right? Be kind to him, and we'll see if we can lure him in and get him on a kind of a regular basis, right? That's the plan anyway. That's the plan anyway, because we do need. I need some balancing force to keep me fucking reined in because I get too emotional some fucking times, right? And I lose track of myself. So um, a little bit of a balance of force. So I'll see what I can do to get Sean on a regular basis. And it's just been so nice to chat with him again after so long. And I wasn't even sure if he was going to be still alive, because with all the stories going around about how this jab is killing everybody, it's like I was just thinking, for sure he's gone. For sure he's fucking dead, like, because he got infected with the coof earlier on, right? So, and apparently it's not supposed to work so very well for them, but he's still alive anyway. He's still fucking alive. So, anyway, which is good news, which means that we might have fucking interesting discussions going on this channel at some fucking stage. So you're not all fucking have to endure my fucking ramblings, because I'll tell you what, I'm demented. I'm absolutely demented, like, Hell, I talk to my fucking self. I talk to myself. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, um, no worries, John. Thanks for tuning in, mate. And take my best, Jimmy. Good man, Jenny. But anyway, much appreciated, everyone. Thanks for your company tonight, and we'll chat to you all next week. Enjoy what's left of the weekend, and enjoy next week. I have no idea what's going on weather-wise or nothing, and nor do I care. I don't even want to fucking talk on it because we've had enough bad fucking news already. There is the invite link into the after chat if you so wish to join. You're very, very fucking welcome. Just give me a moment just to adjust my audio levels and stuff like that. So don't forget, we have Cookie and Pete on Monday and Wednesday. We have Rob on Tuesday. We have Steve Turgoose on Thursday. And don't forget Pete on Friday. There we go. That's my fucking good deed done for today. And oh shit, I never thought. Like, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be here next Saturday. No promises because I kind of committed to doing a gig with somebody, um, a local music festival. But I'm going to try to get out of it because I hear circumstances have changed. If I can get out of that, I will be very fucking happy. So I might be here or I might not be next Saturday night. So just play it by ear. So, but I did warn you about that a couple of weeks ago, but I nearly forgot about it. So if I'm not here if there's no show next Saturday night, don't be worried. I haven't dropped out of a heart attack or anything like that. Just fucking shit happens, right? So take care, everybody. Much appreciated. And Slán, a bhaile.